Pope Leo came out with his first papal document. I read it. Here's what you need to know. First off, this is called an Apostolic Exhortation. This isn't about changing doctrine or making any difference in the church or declaring something moral or immoral. It's pretty much just a reflection on something. And this set is something that Pope Francis started that Pope Leo is finishing on how we as Christians deal with the poor. I was a pretty open fan of Pope Francis's previous Apostolic Exhortation, Dilexi Te, which is all about the love of the Sacred Heart. And I'm also a fan of this one. There's this beautiful point about how the poor are the most loved because Christ, even though he was rich, became poor, as scripture says. And so the poor have a specific place within the working of the church. How we are meant to evangelize to people is not just with intellectual faith, it's also with how we are treating the least of us, those on the street, homeless, or those who just cannot afford to live any more than paycheck to paycheck. But this one's going to piss a lot of people off. I've already started to see people say that this is just a super liberal left-wing take, but it's exposing the fact that we as Christians in America think that everything is into this like left-right Republican-Democrat dichotomy, which it's just not. And we as Americans think that the Pope is always talking to and about us. So when he quotes Pope Francis saying that we have to fight against structural causes of poverty and inequality, of the lack of work, land, and housing, and of the denial of social and labor rights, Democrats are going to think, oh my gosh, he's talking to us. Pope is on our side. The Pope is on our side. But then when he says that we can't just provide welfare assistance and say that our work is done, the Republicans are going to say, oh yeah, the Pope is on our side. The Pope is on our side. Wait, why is love of neighbor now political? Even as I was reading it, I felt kind of challenged because the work of dealing with the poor is not just something that we need to put off to the side that certain people do. It is an integral part of being a Christian. And obviously it can't just be let's give money to other people who are helping it. There needs to not just be a physical care for the poor. There also needs to be a spiritual care. Other than praying with other people, I don't know the last time I sat and just prayed for people who are poor. And of course I've served for soup kitchens and done like the packaging rice for Africa stuff. But there are homeless in my backyard. What am I doing to be able to serve them? And obviously this doesn't mean that all of our ministries now need to only be focused on the poor, but it's a beautiful reminder that as Christians we need to emphasize that we are serving the least of these first, because the first will be last and the last will be first. So we should serve those who are last by placing them first. That's not a political left-right stance. The application of how we do that is very nuanced and we can talk about that all day, but we still need to agree on the fundamental foundational aspect, that the dignity of the human person is not just the unborn baby in the womb or the person at end of life care. It's the person sitting on the street who needs food, they need housing, they need prayers, they need spiritual and mental care. How can we serve them in all of those ways? I'm going to pray about this one.